This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Fury is also a major area which we are going to focus in our training. So basically, we will start with something which is introduction to the HANA. What is HANA? What is in-memory, column structure, row storage, column storage? What is a
Kishore,
CDS
sorry
view?
to interrupt.
Concepts. Yes,
Kishore, are you sharing your screen?
I just started my screen sharing. You should be able to see.
No,
Is
not
everyone
yet.
able to see my? I have just started shared. You should be
Okay.
able to see the Excel sheet. Let me
Not yet.
see.
The others, anybody able to see that?
Yes, I can see. It's
Yes,
Excel sheet, course
yeah,
curriculum.
here Aditya, I am able to see the screen.
Okay, fine. Now please go ahead.
Are you able to see the screen or not?
So far, no. I'm
Wait, are you using are you
mobile,
using on mobile or laptop?
mobile only.
Okay, Naveen.
Yeah, I can see your screen as well.
Naveen, you there?
Hello?
Yeah, I guess Sunil or someone is using mobile. So he's unable to see the screen on mobile. All other candidate can see the screen,
Okay,
which
Sunil,
I
can
have
you join
shared.
from the system, Sunil?
Yes,
Sunil,
Naveen.
Yeah, can you join from the system?
Okay, I'll join from the system.
Yeah.
okay. Then we'll go with the roadmaps. Okay, what are the benefits? What is the different ways of the deployment? What is on cloud premises? This is just a theory. Initially, we'll go with little bit theory. What is activate, and what are the different conversions of the system? Then also we are going to focus on the Fury. As I said, in Fury, we are going to learn what are the apps, how to assign the roles, how to create the new roles, how to create a new app without doing any coding. That part also we are going to learn, because as a functional consultant, this kind of activity will also come in your bucket when you go for any migration or implementation of S4hana. What is a KPI? That is also part which will be coming. KPI type of apps. I'll go in detail on the Fury as well. Then we'll be focusing on the master data changes, different kind of master data, and what are those changes we are going to focus. It may be MM, SD, PP, etc. Impact on the business processes, and what is the innovation they have done in the release PR process or PO release. They have a new output management called as BRF plus, that also from scratch we are going to see. Pricing changes, we are going to see what are the changes in the pricing, valuation changes in the MM. Inventory management, what are the changes coming in the inventory management. Then invoice verification, there is a new concept on how an invoice has to be approved, so that part also we are going to see it. A rebate, a new topic completely. So we are going to call it as a settlement management, although we are going to call, although in ECC it's called as a rebate. So in S4 we call it as a settlement management. That is also totally new topic which has been introduced. Self-service procurement, completely new topic in S4. It is not there in ECC as such. So that part also we are going to see it. Coming to SD, what are the simplified data models in sales, delivery, billing, minor depreciations in these areas? Credit management, yes, it's partially new, partially old, so there is a mix-up. So that part also we have to configure and test it. ATP, check what are the changes they have done. RAR is revenue accounting and reporting. Just we focus on the RAR as such. No config, more of a theory part. Settlement management, again config and running the scenario. 400 GTS overview or what, because anyway 400 is going to get rid of, so that part we will just see it. Technical job repository, yes, this is something new, but it's more important for basis to know, but we should be also aware of that. Then a different kind of planning changes. So what is in a MRP live? What is the changes they have done in the forecast based planning, demand based planning, and different data migration tool we are going to study. Also the horizon, planning horizon changes. On top of that, I guess the when I go to the master data, obviously we'll see the different kind of master data changes. It may be the material master, vendor master, customer master. So all those changes we are going to see. Plus the STO scenarios where we have MM and SD. What are the impact on those scenarios? We are also going to see those scenarios as well. So this is in short one small overview on the course content. On top of this, if any topics you think it has been missed here related to the S4, we can add those topics here as well. A main focus of this training will be given to learn the delta changes and Fury changes. Fury changes in the sense, Fury anyway we're going to learn from scratch, but learning Fury will be given importance in this training. On top of that, we have to learn the delta changes. Delta, when I say delta changes, this is nothing but what is new, which has been introduced in S4hana, and what has been changed from ECC to S4hana. What has been changed from ECC to S4hana. That is the delta changes. Okay. So if anyone has any questions on the course content, please ask. Else, please go on mute. Okay, guys, I'm getting the echo actually. So everyone, please go on mute. Otherwise, your recording will not be good. Okay. This is just a course content. Okay, we'll be sharing one of the PPT. This is one PPT which we will be sharing with you. Along with the PPT, I'll just share you other documents also which we will be sharing with you. One kind of all the books we will be sharing. The books related to certification, books related to SD certification will be shared with you, and also we'll be sharing one spreadsheet. I'm just giving the example of the spreadsheet. A new folder, Google Drive folder, will be created, and in the Google Drive folders, we will be sharing one kind of Excel sheet. I'll just show you an example of the Excel sheet, and this is just an example. Just overview like how we are going to do the training. I'll ask Navin to create the folder. So today he will create the folders. So all certification books are related to MMSD. We will be providing you. We will help you. What kind of questions I will be telling you also. What kind of question, how you can apply for the certifications. That part also we will go through in our course. Then for example, this is just one example, say business partner. Then during the training, so what are the configurations we have to do in the business partner? What are the path? Obviously I will be running one scenario, and what scenario, what are the data I have created, I will be mentioning it. So this will be available for you just for the reference purpose. And what is the configurations related to the business partner? That are all the configurations. Okay, what are the activities we are going to do? All the activities will be mentioned here, and I will be going through one cycle, and you can refer it and you can create your own data. While doing the practice, it is advised that you create your own data and do the practice, so it will be helpful for you. All the spare parts, all the data which I have created will be available here. So this is one topic. This is the one topic. All the information is also available in this particular sheet only. Similarly, if you take another topic, say extension of the material, how to do. So all each individual topics has been created here as a special separate spreadsheet. So that even if you are doing practice, it will be very helpful for you to execute the scenarios, to do the practice. Okay, to rerun the scenario, it's very helpful. And you also remember what are the paths, what are the steps which we needed to follow to do the configurations. What are the changes in the material masters? All the details are available here. So we'll go one point by point, and also we'll go configuration changes, master data changes, and transaction level changes. All three kind of changes we are going to see it in the system. Okay. Now, whatever training is going to happen, we'll be going to do it on our 1909 system. So we will be providing you 1909 server access. So now we will help you to get the server access. In today's sessions, we'll try to understand what is the Hana as a database. So this is 1909. This GUI is different. Okay, this is 7.5. Although we will be providing you 7.6 GUI, this is 7.5. If your database is HANA and if your GUI patch is 7. If your GUI is 750 or 760, then you will see the system in a different. It's in a different way. If you compare it with the ECC, I'll just show you. So it depends on your GUI. If this is a ECC, this is the ECC, and this is your S4 1909 screen. So this is how the screen looks like. Now, let's close the ECC.
So which GUI is the best for the S4?
750,
Because in
760 you
my
can use.
official 760.
7060 is the latest one. So if you are allowed to use that in your office laptop, then you can use it. If you are using your personal
Okay.
laptop, then you use 760.
Okay.
If
You
your
are you
office,
also providing for the personal laptop 760? You do have?
yes,
Yeah,
we
I'm
will provide you.
providing.
Naveen will help you out on all this. So
Okay.
the
In my
GUI.
office laptop actually it is 740. And
Oh,
that's
okay.
I'm just asking. So in
That's
740 compared to 760, it will be different as a the screen.
yeah. From 750, the screens are a little different. Okay. So yeah, but again, your if your system is HANA, then the look is different. If your system is ECC, then there is no change in the look, very minor changes. But if it is a HANA, then the look is totally different. So whatever you are seeing now, this is 1909. 1909 is the latest server,
Yes.
and GUI is 750. Now here, just wanted to, if you wanted to know really this system is, go to system status. I'll just show you how to check the system. Okay, and go to the product version details. Everyone knows here how to the install product version is 1909. Okay, your on premises S4hana on premises 1909. In 1909, this must be the SP level is 00. 00 means it's a first patch. So basically they will release 3 patches. Each quarter they will release 1 patch. So they have released 1909 stands for basically 1909 stands for it's a September release. 9 means it's basically the month, and 19 stands for year. So it's 2019, and 09 stands for the month. So in the month of September they have released this particular on-premises version. Now this is something which is okay. Now we are going to focus on first understand what is S4, what is S4 HANA, and then we will see the differences. Couple initially, uh, 2 sessions will be theory part, and then we will focus on the practical. So just understand, because this point, this is also very important for you to understand what is a HANA, what is S4 HANA. So initially I'll just go a little bit with the theory part, just as a background we should be aware of it, and then we will go with the live our own configurations of each object slowly. So before we kickstart, we will be this PPT we will be sharing you on the drive. Okay, this PPT I will be sharing you on the drive. This PPT I am updating again with the latest changes which are going to happen or which are happen. So this PPT, whatever I have, I will update, and at the end of the class also I will keep updating that PPT in the Google Drive. So if you are you in the drive, you will refer the latest one only. HANA is a database, okay, and S4 HANA is a application name given to the application. So earlier, what we were having the name SAP ERP, or we also called as ECC. Okay, so now when SAP ERP, basically it was running on any kind of database. So it can be executing, it can be connected to your Oracle database or any other IBM database. It depends. So your SAP ECC or SAP ERP is compatible enough to get connected to any kind of database. So SAP has given a free hand to the customer initially that you choose your own database. We are providing you the software, or we are providing you the application. So that application, what kind of database you use in the backend, they don't care. Slowly they introduce the HANA. Now the business suite or ERP which is being using on HANA, this is a little higher version. So you have one ERP, that is SAP, is running on, say, one kind of database. It can be any database. So assume it's Oracle database. Then they introduce HANA. HANA is a database. It's not a application. HANA is just a database. Then your SAP ERP or your application start running on the HANA. So that is called as a business suite on HANA, or this is also called as a business suite on HANA. The first image which I'm saying is also called as a business suite. The second image is something like the business suite which is being powered by HANA database. So it's called as a suite on HANA. But the third, the final one is called as a S4hana. Here your entire application is redesigned. So they have rewritten all the logics, they have rewritten all the programs so as to increase the performance, to take advantage of the HANA database. To take the advantage of the HANA database, they have to rewrite many logics, they have to rewrite the programs so that your system performance, your reporting is a better one. Duplicate tables were removed, or aggregate tables were removed. So there are many changes at a table level, at a structure level, at a program level, which was done so as to bring a new product, and that product name is called as a SAP S4hana. So S4hana, okay, HANA is an application, HANA is a database, S4 is an application. So the application which runs on a HANA database, they have given name it as a S4hana, because S4 is an application and HANA is a database. Earlier, what was the application? You call it as a ERP, ECC, or business suite. Then the second one, the middle phase, was business suite running on HANA, and the next one from 2015, 16, I guess, they made it mandatory. They stopped selling the your ERP ECC and they started selling only S4. So remember, S4 only works with HANA database. If you wanted to purchase, any of your customer wanted to go for S4, then they first have to do the database migration from your Oracle to HANA database, or whatever database they are using it. If anyone is wanted to purchase S4 a new system, suppose some of the customers are using non-SAP system, example they are using Man system or Oracle system or any other Hyperion, etc., JD Adverse, whatever system they are using, they wanted to go for S4 HANA. So the mandatory first is they have to buy HANA database. Without HANA database, they can't run S4. So S4 is an application which only runs on HANA database. You cannot connect other database to the S4. So that is a mandatory. So what happened now with S4? SAP is not only selling you the application, but they are selling you to the database. Not only they are selling you to the database, they have not given you any other option to the customers for alternative DBs. So database which is going to store all of your data. So if now you try to purchase SAP ERP, they will give you full package. That is, they will give you the application, they will give you the database as well. ECC selling has been stopped since almost 3 years back. They have stopped 3 to 4 years back. They have stopped the selling of the ECC. By end of 2015, they stopped it. Okay, so this is just a overview. It's just a comparison. Okay, user interface, obviously in ECC we were using GUI, here also GUI, but Fury is the secondary here, because very less customer started using the Fury when we were there using the ERP, that is ECC. The problem with the Fury and ECC was the connection. It was very difficult and it was too slow to use the Fury in the past. But in case of S4, Fury is very interactive. It's very fast. So if any customer is going on S4 HANA, the Fury they have to use. Now, what is the Fury? I will show you. Also, we are going to work a lot on Fury as well. But remember this one. So Fury goes on top when it comes to S4. The reason we have moved it on the top, because it's very interactive. They have redesigned the Fury. Doing the connection is very easy. It's built in S4HANA. It's free of cost. So people are getting Fury free of cost when they purchase S4hana now. Application DP independent. Obviously, I can use any type of database. Here, I have to use HANA. There is no other options. In ECC, then they started initially when the HANA was launched in 2011. Okay, I may have a diagram as well, but it was targeted to use to increase the performance of your BIBW reporting part. Then later, slowly, they started developing HANA with respect to the ECC, and then they once they fully developed the HANA, then they started working on the application, that is rewriting of the application codes, their structure, the head behavior, and then the new product was launched as a S4hana. So it's not like they started working on the new product immediately. They worked first initially on the HANA for a different purpose. Then they started, then they realized like the importance and what the HANA can do. Then they started moving that HANA thing to the ECC, and then they once they moved successfully, then they started migrating, doing the changes in the ECC so that it is called as S4. So this is how the evolution of S4 HANA happened. I have that image as well. Many advantages. The main purpose of the HANA is reporting, real time, in memory, and Fury, obviously. So Fury is a different, totally UI. UI is user interface. So you can use the Fury from your mobile, your tablets, from your any kind of browsers. You can use it from your desktops, laptops. So you get a larger flexibility uh, if you use it. Okay, so the process has been improved. Some process, some new uh, objects has been added. So we'll go with those. What is the on-premises and what is the cloud? You should also aware of this one. It depends on the client, okay, on the size of the client, on the requirement of the client, whether you go for the on-premises or whether you go for the cloud. Very simple. On-premises is something you buy the server, you buy the application, and you take care of those application and servers. Okay. So this is called as on-premises. Cloud is something like private cloud and public cloud. Okay, private cloud is something like you have a SAP, and public cloud they have a couple of edition. We'll go in detail on those cloud options as well. I will give you in detail explanation on those as well. In short, remember the systems. Okay, your S4 HANA is compatible. We can go on premises, you can go on the cloud. In the cloud also you have the private cloud and public cloud. Depends on which you use. Now how to choose, that also I will explain which one we have to choose. This is a quick overview. HANA Cloud Platform, okay, HANA Enterprise Cloud and Cloud Apps. So Aribas and SuccessFactors, if you see these Concur, okay, these are called as a SaaS. SaaS means software as a services. These are the software which you will be using as a services. SAP HANA Cloud Platform. Okay, here you can have the extended application. You can build your application. So this is one platform basically which they are providing to build your own services as per your requirement. And HANA Enterprise Cloud, this is where you have a S4hana or you have a business suite or a business warehouses, any kind of applications, your IS infrastructure as a services. So these are all your connections they have in single when we say the S4hana. Okay, so we have a cloud apps, we have HCP, and we have HEC, different. Just as a theory part, you should be aware of these terms. What is the SaaS? What is the PaaS? What is the infrastructure as a services? What comes under it? Okay, just as a information, you should be aware of it. Now here comes the transition. Now currently 95 plus or more than that customers are still using the ECC old system, I will say, and only few percentile, say 2-3% maybe out of the world, they may have gone to S4hana. By 2025 the ECC will be, the support and everything will be shut down from the SAP, so that is the deadline they have given. So obviously all the customers have the target deadlines by 2025. They will move on to the S4hana. Now there are three kind of scenarios we are expecting in the current market. One is, okay, you may have your ERP systems, which is a non-SAP system. Obviously, if you have a ERP system, it's very old, or it's a non-SAP system, then it's called as a new implementation. You scrap your existing systems, new or existing SAP customer implementing the new S4hana. That is, suppose you, one of your customer is using 4.6 or he is using Oracle, then he wanted to go for S4hana. Obviously, he has to scrap those systems and go for the S4hana. So he can choose on-premises or cloud, it depends. Suppose you have your existing SAP system, that is, your customer is using SAP 6.0, EHP7 and above. Minimum requirement to do the migration, minimum requirement to do the system conversion or migration is you should be on EHP 7 and above, ECC 6, EHP 7 and above, EHP 7 and above. Then only you are allowed to do the conversion. Conversion in this is what is going to happen. Your SAP system will get converted to S4hana. We will see, that is also we are going to call it as a migration project. Okay, so it may be the conversion or migration. Next one is a landscape transformation. Now landscape transformation, suppose if you are working, I was working with one of the big client. Basically they were having 9 SAP servers. Okay, so based on the regions, they use different SAP systems. They are using SAP systems, all were ECC6, but were having multiple systems because they were presence were worldwide. So in this like market, we may have a single customer who is using multiple SAP systems based on the regions. In that case, you can get rid of all your 9 systems. Example, you are using 9 SAP systems. Rather than maintaining 9 SAP systems, you can convert all those SAP system into a single one. Either you go for on-premise or cloud, doesn't matter. So consolidating of the current regional SAP business suite landscape to a selective one global S4hana system. Rather than using 9, you can use only one. Okay, so that is how here also you can do the landscape transformation. So these are the three transition scenario which you are expecting in the market. One is greenfield implementation, there is a new implementation. Second one we are going to call as system conversion or the migration, and third one we call as a landscape transformation. Okay, landscape transformation. If anyone has any questions, please unmute and ask the question. Okay, you can stop me whenever you have a doubt. Just please stop and ask the questions.
Okay, you confirm that, okay, it will be migration will happen if the client is available on EHP 7 and above. So as per
Yeah.
my knowledge, I'm not that much of technically sound, but I'm guessing that after EHP 7, it's coming the S4. So is there any intermediate also landscape also available?
After EHP7, it's not coming on S4. Like your system is eligible to go for S4 migration. So example, suppose I'll show you whatever ECC you are using. Okay, example, this is one of my ECC I'm using. So if your ECC is, what is the EHP on this ECC?
Okay.
I'll go to system and I'll go to the status, and in this case, so EHP7, okay, SAP ERP 6.0.
Yes.
So 6.0 multiplied by EHP7. If there are some
Okay.
customers who are on EHP4, who are on EHP3, EHP5, and if they decided that, okay, we will go for S4hana migration. So migration means your ECC existing system will get converted to S4hana. It's not a greenfield implementation. You don't have to do anything from scratch. Migration is a process where your existing SAP will get ECC will get converted to S4. Greenfield implementation is a process where your existing system will get scrapped and you go for S4 from scratch. So in the migration, now if you wanted to do the migration, the minimum prerequisite is you should be on EHP 7, ECC 6.0, EHP 7. If you are in EHP 5, then first you come to EHP 7 and then you start working on the migration. Okay, so this is a prerequisite.
Okay, so after EHP 7, anything, any other latest version is available?
Yeah, EHP 8 is there.
Okay, okay, fine.
Yeah. Hello, Kishore.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, many times, yeah, one question from my end, Aditya here. Many times client says that there is a lot of customization, so we can't implement HANA. So what is the way there for greenfield implementation or system conversion?
Can you just repeat your
Yeah,
question?
in yeah, in many projects there is lot of customization, lot of Z tables and fields because standard SAP it has been changed to customization, means a lot of Z tables and everything. So in that case, if you want to implement HANA, greenfield would be the best option, or then system conversion would be fine in that case.
Okay, so whether to choose, see, that part will not come whether to choose a greenfield implementation or you are, if you are using, for example, you are using 4.6 ECC, then you scrap it and go for greenfield implementation. It is not advisable to migrate your 4.6 to ECC 6 and then EHP upgradation. That is too time consuming activity. To your question is not your the way you are what the question you are asking is, if you have too much of set development, so whether we should go for
Yes.
greenfield implementation or whether we go for migration. That's a there are two things. Okay, first, the Z development will not decide whether you go for greenfield implementation or migration. Your existing system system level will decide whether you go for the greenfield migration or you go for the uh, if I go for the greenfield implementation or migration. If you are on 4.6, then better scrap it and go for fresh implementation. If you are if you are on EHP 5, ECC 6 EHP 5, then go for EHP 7. In that case, you are eligible. You better you go for migration, because greenfield implementation cost more as compared to the migration. So what kind of system currently you are using, that will decide whether you go for migration or not. The amount of G or G tables or G enhancement is not going to decide it. The amount of Z enhancement or Z tables or Z transaction will decide whether you go for on-premises or you go for cloud. If you are using on-premises, then the maximum, if you have a huge customization, huge development, then it is advised to go for on-premises only. If you are using all standard, then it is advised to go for cloud. In cloud also there are two types, SAP cloud and private cloud. SAP cloud you have to go only if you are using standard. If you are using Z, a lot of Z, then don't go for SAP cloud because it has become more expensive. So you can go for on-premises or private cloud. So I will explain you what are those on-premises, private cloud, what is the AWS example, and SAP cloud later after a couple of slides. But answering to your question, your existing system will decide whether you go for greenfield implementation or migration. Amount of Z enhancement, that is usually used to decide whether I should go for on-premises, whether I should go for SAP cloud. For that,
Okay.
we use that part as one of the criteria.
So when you use
Okay. So
SAP
Z
already, when your
table Z.
company is,
Okay.
hello, can I answer this one? Because we have just done this recently. When your
Yeah.
company is using SAP already, what they do is first they go for EHP 8 upgrade. So that is the first step. Always they go for EHP 8 upgrade and then they go for S4hana migration. So when the company is already using SAP, nobody will be going for greenfield implementation. So they will be just migrating it to HANA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they don't have SAP, then they go for a greenfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Thanks.
Yeah. In
Okay,
we
while
work one of the project where they were using 4.6, so it was not advised them for to do the upgradation. So in that case, what we propose them to scrap 4.6 and go for fresh implementation. So remember what kind of system you are using, that will decide it. If you are already using HP say 4 5, then it's better you upgrade yourself to 7 or 8 and then go for S4hana migration. No problem there.
Okay. Fine, thanks.
okay,
I got it. Yeah.
one of my question.
Continue.
Yes, yes. One of my additional questions on this, to Aditya, that let's suppose we are using presently as a S4 EHP7, and we targeted to that migration to S4, and for that the client upgraded to EHP8, and in EHP7 also they have completely customization on the entire the org structure and all. Okay, also using the transactions level, all the customized level enhancements. So when they are migrating, and in S4, as per my knowledge so far a bit, that they are going the change the table level database also in S4 compared to ESP 7. Okay, so how this customized the existing enhancements and customizations are available in ESP 7, that will be going forward in S4. Is that going to be completely changed, or those customization will be support the S4 HANA? Am I
See, if you
clear
are
on the
using,
question?
no, I little bit clear. So in short, I'll say whatever, if you are using on premises, whatever customization way you did in ECC, same you can do it in S4HANA. If you are using cloud, then obviously we don't have cloud here. Okay, SAP cloud.
Okay.
Then
Now my question that let's suppose it ECC, it is vendor master is Apple, which is coming from LFA1. Okay, but coming
correct.
forward in S4, it is going to be other business partner. The database table has been changed. So how if I am creating a right now, I'm using any database, any customization which is include LFA1, which is vendor master, and
Mm-hmm.
going forward, it is will be a business partner, right? So how it
Right.
will be treated in S4, that particular customization transaction or enhancement?
Okay.
Am I going
Answering
to
to
change in S4
you.
the business partner, or existing LFA1 will continue in that S4?
Okay. A quick answer to this one is see, if in ECC you're using LFA1, in S4 also there is LFA1. The only change here is how you maintain that LFA1 table. In ECC you are using XK 010203. In S4 HANA you are not using, you are not going to use XK 010203, but you are using BP. So tables which were used for vendor storage data information like LFA1, LFB1, LFM1, same tables are used in
Mhm.
S4 HANA as well. So in S4 HANA also you will get data in LFA1, LFP1, LFM1. The change is on top
Okay.
of that there are business partner related tables as well which you have to consider, and the way you maintain that data has been changed. So BP is a single window, a single door to do all the activities related to the vendor master. So through the BP only you maintain the vendor details like address, bank details, the email ID, etc., etc., etc. will be maintained through the BP business partner only. Whereas in ECC, what was happening, you can directly maintain the vendor master tables. Here you don't maintain the vendor master information directly, but it is routed through the BP. So you maintain it for the BP. The BP data gets automatically updated in the respective tables. So answering to your
Okay.
question, some areas customization is as it is, but there are new tables added. Some areas customization has been changed. For example, in the sales and distribution, the credit management customization has been completely changed. Output management, our output management, SD output management has been changed. So some areas the customization has been changed. Some areas customization is as it is. On top of that, new customization is added. So yes, object-wise there are many changes. Like yeah. New
Okay.
implementation.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Anyone has any questions? Okay. So new implementation is nothing but obviously it's a greenfield implementation. Okay, new project, non-SAP, get the data, push it into your new project. So here remember there are three when you go for S4 there are three things: S4hana as a database, S4hana core means the application, and then SAP Fury. So Fury will be used, okay, heavily. So if you are going for S4hana, remember that Fury has to be used, then only there is a use of the S4, otherwise it is of no use if you still run with the same GUI. New implementation, this is a one scenario. This is just a small short information I have added. We are going to learn what is LTMC. Okay, LTMC is a new tool which we will do when we will start with the practicals. Basically, this is just a new implementation scenario and what are the benefits to the customer. A small theory part, nothing more. System conversion is nothing but a migration. We are going to see what are the different phases. Once we complete our entire training, then at the end we are going to work on the migration. What are the different phases of the migration? How migrations are done? What are the different objects you as a functional consultant has to take care in the migration? What is your role in the migration? So that part we will go in detail, but this is just a small theory part just to check, understand what are the benefits and how it happens. This is the system conversion. Landscape transformations, that is moving from multiple SAP box to a single box, that is called as a landscape transformation. Now this is important one. This is called as a S4hana public cloud, managed cloud, and on-premises. Now public cloud, managed cloud, and on-premises. On-premises, everyone is aware. What is on-premises? On-premises is nothing but you purchase the application, you purchase the servers, so you can do all kind of customization. There is no restriction on the amount of customizations which you can perform. So on-premises is basically used by the customers which are very big and they don't use standard much, but they use one more of Z or Y. So Z or Y, if you is heavily used, then you go for the on-premises. Full ABAP customization available, then the yearly schedule or updates you have to do it on your own. Managed cloud and public cloud. Okay, so in the managed cloud and public cloud, here, okay, small difference is there between those two. In case of managed cloud, okay, here the cloud, okay, system is managed by the SAP. Obviously, if they are going to manage your systems, manage the system means basically they are providing, you are a tenant to that. Okay, you are a tenant to that. Here there is a limitation, like ABAP you can do the customization, but there is a very limited customization is allowed in the managed cloud. 100% managed by SAP. Schedule updates and subscription pricing. Now what is subscription pricing? And schedule update means they have quarterly updates which happens automatically. They will not wait for you because that is being used by multiple people. So in case of managed clouds, what are the business scenario you are going to choose? Suppose there are 13 standard business scenario, out of which suppose you are going to use only 8. So pricing will depends on the 8 scenarios only. They don't charge you for remaining 4. So what part of SAP you are going to use, based on that they will charge you. So this is one kind of how much you want to use based on that. This is very useful if your customer is very small, because if he is very small, then we don't expect too much of customization. He may rely mostly on the standard. In that case they can go for the managed clouds. Public cloud is something like a multi-tenant database. I will show you example. Multi-tenant database is something like they have a database which is used by multiple peoples or multiple tenants. Example, you have your servers. Okay, so you have a big database, then in that you are allowing multiple people to use that database. But that data centers, we call it as a data centers. Basically data center are nothing but we are huge big data servers are available. So in case of public cloud means multiple people, we are sharing a common data center where the data is stored by all the, obviously the segregation will be there. Okay, so example, we have Aditya, we have a Sunil, they are using the SAP, but they are on a public cloud. Public cloud means I have 100 GB, suppose I have 100 terabyte of data space. So I will give 50 terabyte to Aditya, 50 terabyte to Sunil, but I will manage the data center. So I will manage that server, whatever upgrades, whatever shutting down and making it up, everything I will take care. But you can store your data. So whatever in application, whatever data punching you are doing, that will come and get stored in a single DB. But that DB I will take care. So it's a multi-tenant. Multi-tenant means there is a single database which is being shared by multiple persons. But don't worry, the data will not get mixed with each other. There is a proper segregations. No customizations allowed in case of public cloud. And obviously there is a quarterly release, 100% managed and automatic updates. Here also subscription by pricing. So what is the difference between the public cloud and managed cloud? In case of public clouds, the database is shared by the multiple tenants. In case of managed cloud, you can have your own database. But this is just a cloud. Now here these are the SAP cloud. Okay. Another example of that one is suppose you people have heard about the AWS, Amazon Web Service or Azure. They are also providing you the database. You don't have to buy purchase HANA database. They will provide you on rent. What you have to do, just buy the application. Even the application also they can provide you on rent. So usually AWS and Azure, they are providing you the servers database basically, where you can install the application, and once you install the application, they you can take rent the database. So this is called as a private cloud. Whereas if you are buying SAP and you are using SAP database, SAP also provide you the on rent the database. So that is something we call as managed clouds. And in public, SAP cloud is something like SAP has own tenant area there. Multiple people are using the same platform, same kind of application. So because of the, in case of public cloud, SAP public cloud, you will get very less or no customization allowed because many people are using same application. Okay, so that is the reason it's not allowed to use do many customization. In short, in the market there are three type of installations. One is on premises, where you buy SAP, you buy servers and you install, you take care of everything. There is another is private cloud, where you will be buying SAP and you are installing your SAP on the servers rented from Amazon, or you take a rent from Microsoft. Those servers are managed by AWS team or Azure team. Your people can also manage those servers. So their database you don't have to purchase, you take it on a rent. The third kind of way of installation is in SAP get the SAP application purchase and database purchase. Instead of purchasing both application database, you can get it rented from SAP itself. So SAP is also doing the business of renting out the database to the customers. So that is SAP cloud. We call it as a SAP cloud. So this is three kinds. It depends on the project. If your customer is very small and if he intends to use all standard, it's better to go for SAP cloud. If your customer is a little bit medium or big, and if he intends to do all the big customization, then it's better to go for on premises or private cloud or private cloud. Okay,
Is there any technically beneficial difference between if the database is maintained in on-premises and cloud?
technical benefits means
Means like the server will be faster, the access will be faster, and it's more secured in cloud. The database is kind of.
security, both will be okay. It may be on premises or cloud. On premise is more secure as compared to the cloud. Cloud is more a little risk. It's not risky, I will say, but a little risk. But when if it is on premises, you have a proper control. You can start on off as per your wish. Okay, but if it goes to if it goes to a cloud, then you have to depend on other teams whenever you want to troubleshoot or whenever you want to restart the servers. Also, whenever they are going to do the upgrades, you have to do the coordination properly. So there are advantages and disadvantages, but if you go on cloud, it is cheaper as compared to the on premises. Okay, but what are the
Okay.
disadvantage? You have to dependency on the other teams. But if you go on premises, you have your own team, so you don't have dependency on the others, and but cost is more. Okay, so
Okay,
that's
so
how it works.
who are the businesses wanted to move to cloud only just because of that maintenance and the cost side, they will migrating to cloud.
Yes, if they are going cloud, because cloud is cheaper as compared to the on premises. So
Okay.
uh, that is the reason people go for the cloud.
Okay, in case like basically we are in like consulting services, if business is asking us to provide them which one is good for them comparatively on premises or cloud, what we suggest to them.
Uh, in case of
Like out of two, there are two options or whether they will go for, let's suppose they are working right now in ACP ECC EHP7, they are try to migrate in S4, right? And also they are asking us that which is good for on premises or they will migrate to cloud itself. So
okay.
what we should suggest to the business?
Okay, business, it depends. Suppose if you are going on the cloud, in the cloud, if you are going for SAP cloud, then it depends. If they are going to use all the standard business process, then it's cheaper. But if they intend to do the customization, then SAP cloud is not recommended.
Yeah, they
Okay,
have a
so
lot of customization. So whether I should suggest them to for a private cloud or on premises.
okay, it depends on the cost. So you better suggest them on the private cloud. If private cloud, if they believe on the cloud and if they believe that the data on the cloud is safer, then they can go for the private cloud. If they don't, like some people don't like the cloud, they prefer still on premises. In that case, then they can go for on premises. It depends on your business. And yes, but first recommendation should go for private cloud just to save the cost, because cost will be less for private cloud as compared to the
Yes.
on-prem.
The only the parameter selection parameter is based on the cost itself, not
Cost
that
also, safety of the
any.
data also. See, cost is there, safety of the data is there. Again, the AWS team will come into the picture when, so your database team, your basis team has to coordinate with your network or AWS team whenever there are upgrades, whenever there are requirement to kickstart the servers. So
Hmm. Yeah, on cloud, we have to depend upon then that service provider. Whenever we are required any restart or off, then we have to request them, and they will do that on our behalf, right? And on premise, we have the control on that database.
yes, on-premise you have your own control. There is no issue. Also, suppose cloud you have 5 years of agreement, and then after 5 years you decided that you are not going to continue it. Then again you
Hmm.
have to keep doing the migration on some other cloud service provider. So that part also they think it depends on how they do the agreements. But yes, these are some major points.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, we'll stop. This was just a kind of intro and kickstart session. We are going to stop. The next session will be on coming Saturday. You can confirm everyone with Naveen on the timing. Also, Naveen will confirm. Okay. So, if any questions, you can check with Naveen. Okay. So, system access, servers on Google Drive. He will create the folders on the Google Drive and he will share with everyone. So you will have all the access. Okay. Anyone
Okay.
has
Yep.
any
Thank you, Vishnu.
questions? Thank you.
No questions.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.